1598. The death of Toyotomi Hideyoshi, Japan's unifier, left a power vacuum and a vulnerable heir, his young son, Toyotomi Hideyori. Hideyoshi had established a council of 5 elders to govern in Hideyori's stead until he came of age. This council included some of the most powerful daimyo, such as Tokugawa Ieyasu, Maeda Toshi, Mori Terumoto, Uesugi Kagekatsu, and Ukita Hideye. The Council of 5 Elders was intended to maintain stability and prevent any single daimyo from seizing power. However, the council members had varying degrees of loyalty to the Toyotomi regime and personal ambitions. The death of Maeda Toshi, a strong supporter of the Toyotomi, in 1599 weakened the council's unity and shifted the balance of power in favor of Tokugawa Ieyasu, who was already positioning himself as a de facto leader. Ieyasu was the most powerful and strategically positioned daimyo within the council. His control over the fertile Kanto region and his military prowess made him a natural leader, but also a threat to the Toyotomi loyalists. Ieyasu began consolidating power by forming alliances and securing the loyalty of other daimyo. His moves included expanding his influence and making strategic marriages. Ishida Mitsunari, a bureaucrat and loyal Toyotomi retainer, was deeply committed to preserving the Toyotomi legacy. He distrusted Ieyasu and viewed his actions as a direct threat to Hideyori's future. Mitsunari lacked military prowess, but was a skilled administrator and strategist. He began rallying support among other Toyotomi loyalists and those who feared Ieyasu's rising power. In 1599, Mitsunari allegedly orchestrated an assassination attempt on Ieyasu, which failed. This incident exacerbated tensions between them and solidified their enmity. Tensions escalated with Mitsunari's attempt to undermine Ieyasu's authority. In 1600, Mitsunari orchestrated the siege of Fushimi Castle, held by Tori Mototada, a loyal retainer of Ieyasu. The siege was a prelude to open conflict and demonstrated Mitsunari's resolve to challenge Ieyasu. Battle lines were drawn between clans. The Eastern Army was led by Tokugawa Ieyasu. It included powerful daimyo like Date Masamune, Hachisuka Ieyasu, and Kuroda Nagamasa. Ieyasu's goal was to establish his dominance and secure the future of his family. The Western Army was led by Ishida Mitsunari. It included loyalists like Ukita Hideye, Otani Yoshitsugu, and Shimazu Yoshihiro. Their aim was to protect the Toyotomi legacy and prevent Ieyasu from usurping power. In 1600, Uesugi Kagekatsu, one of the 5 elders and a member of the Western faction, was accused of plotting against Ieyasu. In response, Ieyasu launched a campaign against him in the north. This campaign was part of Ieyasu's strategy to neutralize potential threats and consolidate his power. While Ieyasu was engaged in the north, Mitsunari seized the opportunity to rally the Western army and prepare for a decisive confrontation. He secured support from daimyos who were either loyal to Hideyoshi's memory or feared Ieyasu's growing power. Ieyasu, aware of the brewing conflict, used his diplomatic skills to secure loyalty and neutrality from various daimyo. He promised rewards and autonomy in exchange for support or non-interference. Both armies began mobilizing their forces. Ieyasu quickly returned from his campaign in the north, gathering his allies and preparing for the impending clash, while Mitsunari and the Western army took strategic positions in the region around Sekigahara, hoping to catch Ieyasu's forces off guard. The battle took place on October 21, 1600, in the narrow valley of Sekigahara in central Japan. This location was strategic due to its control over the major roads connecting different parts of the country. Tokugawa Ieyasu's forces, numbering around 88,000 troops, were positioned in a strong defensive stance. Ieyasu set his headquarters on Mount Momokubari, overseeing the battlefield. Ishida Mitsunari commanded approximately 81,000 troops. Mitsunari's headquarters were at Mount Sasao. The Western army held advantageous terrain, including several elevated positions. The battle began under the cover of thick morning fog, which provided initial concealment for troop movements. Both sides engaged in preliminary skirmishes. The Eastern Army's vanguard, led by Tokugawa Ieyasu's son, Tokugawa Hidetada, played a critical role in the initial engagements. Ieyasu focused on holding his ground and waiting for the opportune moment to strike. He relied heavily on the loyalty and strategic placement of his allies. Mitsunari aimed to leverage the high ground and initiate a coordinated assault on Ieyasu's positions. He also relied on the support of his key allies positioned on the flanks and rear. A critical moment occurred when Kobayakawa Hideaki, Hideyoshi's nephew, whom Ieyasu seduced for more land and power, defected to Ieyasu's side. Initially hesitant, Hideaki's troops eventually charged downhill, attacking Otani Yoshitsugu's position in the Western army. Hideaki's betrayal caused confusion and panic within the Western army. Other daimyo, including Wakisaka Yasuharu, Ogawa Suketada, and Akaza Naoyasu, followed Hideaki's lead, further weakening the Western positions. With the Western army in disarray, Ieyasu ordered a full-scale assault. The disciplined and coordinated attacks of the Eastern army overwhelmed Mitsunari's forces. By the afternoon, the Western army was decisively defeated. Mitsunari and several key leaders attempted to flee, but were captured soon after. Ishida Mitsunari, along with other Western leaders, were captured and executed. This swift action eliminated the immediate threat to Ieyasu's dominance. He rewarded loyal daimyo with lands and titles, redistributed the territories of the defeated Western supporters, and secured strategic positions across Japan. Toyotomi Hideyori, the 8-year-old son of Hideyoshi, lost most of his territory. He was degraded to an ordinary daimyo. Ieyasu arranged his marriage to Senhime, his own 7-year-old granddaughter, to mitigate Toyotomi clan dissension and plotting. The Battle of Sekigahara was a decisive event that shaped the course of Japanese history. Tokugawa Ieyasu's victory ended the era of warring states and paved the way for the establishment of a unified and stable Japan under the Tokugawa Shogunate. Join us next time as we explore Hideyori's fate as a lingering threat to the Tokugawa Shogunate. As always, please help us grow the channel by subscribing, commenting, sharing, or even just a like. It's surely appreciated. Thanks for watching.